Good day, everyone. Welcome to another interesting discussion. I am your pre-service teacher, Alvin K. Mosne, a fourth-year BS Ed major in mathematics student. Welcome to our core subject, ED401, Observations of Teaching Learning in Actual School Environment, also known as Field Study 1. Today, I will be discussing one of the most important instructional strategies in teaching diverse learners, the differentiated instruction. This strategy is essential in making sure that all students, regardless of their background, interests, or abilities, are given equal opportunities to succeed in the classroom. Before we begin, here are our learning objectives. Explain the key principles and approaches of differentiated instruction in teaching diverse learners. Design a simple lesson activity that applies a differentiated instruction strategy and value the importance of addressing learners' diverse needs by showing openness to applying differentiated instruction in future classroom practice. In today's classrooms, learners are more diverse than ever. They differ in readiness, interest, learning styles, and even cultural backgrounds. If we use only one way of teaching, some students may thrive, but others may struggle. That's where differentiated instruction comes in. According to the book of Tomlinson and Embu, differentiated instruction means tailoring the content, process, product, and learning environment based on students' needs. In short, it's about meeting students where they are and guiding them toward growth and success. According to Hall, differentiated instruction is a teaching approach designed to support students with diverse capacities in the same class. Its main goal is to maximize every student's growth by addressing individual differences while still working toward common learning goals. So instead of treating all students the same, differentiated instruction asks these questions. What do my students need? And how can I adjust my teaching so everyone learns effectively? Now, there are four key elements that teachers can modify in order to differentiate instruction according to Tomlinson and MU. And these are the content, the process, the product, and the learning environment. First is content. This refers to the knowledge, understanding, and skills that what students need to learn. For example, a teacher can present information through reading, audio, group demonstrations, or visuals. Second is process. This is how students come to understand and make sense of the content. Activities like discussions, experiments, or guided practice helps learners own the knowledge. Third is product. This is how students demonstrate or show what they come to know, understand, and be able to do after an extended period of learning. For example, some may write essays, others may create projects or perform presentations. And lastly, learning environment. This is the classroom atmosphere, including the students' emotions and comfort. Teachers can adjust seating arrangements, groupings, or classroom norms to support learning. Teachers can differentiate instruction by considering these three student characteristics according to Tomlinson and MBU. And these are by readiness, by interest, and by learning profile or preferences. First is by readiness. This refers to students' current level of knowledge and skills. Therefore, in making tasks, it should be appropriate to their current level, should be challenging but achievable with support. Second is by interest. It is essential to connect lessons to students' passions or curiosities that increases their motivation. These are influenced by student strengths, cultural background, personal experiences, and perceived needs. And lastly, learning profile or preferences. Recognizing how students prefer to learn, whether individually or in groups, visually or through hands on activities, based on factors like culture, gender, and learning style. Now, how do we carry out differentiated instruction? To effectively plan for differentiated instruction, teachers should consider this following. First, know your students. Effective differentiated instruction requires a deep understanding of the learners. Teachers must collect information about their students' readiness levels, prior knowledge, interest, cultural backgrounds, and preferred learning methods through surveys, assessments, or observation. Second, have a repertoire of teaching strategies. Teachers should develop educational approaches that are adaptable to different learners, like cooperative learning, project based learning, inquiry based learning, and more. Third, identify a variety of instructional activities. Now, planning differentiated instruction involves developing activities that addresses the content, the process, and the product of learning, offering options such as learning stations, tiered assignments, or choice boards allow students to acquire the same concepts in different ways and demonstrate mastery. And lastly, identify ways to assess or evaluate student progress. Assessment in differentiated instruction should be ongoing and varied. Teachers should not only assess using tests, instead, teachers can also use journals, portfolios, performance tasks, and other authentic assessment. In conclusion, differentiated instruction is not about creating separate lessons for every student. Instead, it is about being flexible and responsive, adapting our teaching so that every learner can grow. As future educators, embracing differentiated instruction means committing to inclusivity, fairness, and the belief that all students are capable of success. By applying these strategies, we do not just teach content, we empower learners to reach their fullest potential. Thank you so much for listening. I hope this discussion has deepened your understanding of differentiated instruction and inspired you to apply it in your future classrooms. Until next time, and happy learning!